stacked up by Jeff Jamer.
That formation, it looked like Randolph was giving Linden the right side of the field. Without a man in motion, they may attack it, but when they come back with a man in motion, Randolph seems to be sliding out that way.
Number 2, Carl Onque has just stepped in for Linden, replacing George Jenkins at the wingback. 2nd and 9. The give to Taylor, sweep right, and Taylor will not make much. Stingone is the man who grabs him by the ankles and drops him.
That was a counter play off tackle, and there's just not enough movement on the offensive line to keep that Randolph defense from stopping him. 1 yard of daylight, and then it seems to be closing.
Not much to cheer about so far. But the Linden cheerleaders enjoying this day.
Well, I think Linden's going to have to go to the air. This may be a dangerous spot for him to do it, but somewhere along the line, the ball's got to come in the air because Randolph is ganging him inside.
It's 3rd and 7. High formation, man in motion is Taylor. The give, however, is to Taylor. It was Jenkins in motion. He will not make much, and regardless, he will not make enough for the first down. Taylor is the punter for Linden. This season he has punted 34 times for 1,131 yards, a 33.2 average. Deep man back for Randolph is Sandler, and he is only at the Linden 45, so Randolph should assume they will have great field position. The ball will hit, and Sandler will wisely let it roll, and it will only get out to the Linden 44. It's the same outfit Joe was wearing when we were here for the Westfield game. Maybe he considers it a lucky outfit.
I think it's the same outfit Joe wore for the Union game and all the games prior to that.
Randolph taking over. Joe, of course, successful here at Linden, 25, 28, and 2. This, again, by far his best season ever at 9 and 1.
Randolph's in a 4-down zone now. They can do just about anything they want.
They send 3 receivers right, but instead they pass left to Saltz. Saltz breaks 1 tackle, and depending upon where they mark it, he will probably be just shy of a first down marker. Very interesting what Randolph has done. They've shown power to one side in that 3 receivers. Once they ran up the middle, this time they passed left. In other words, they're going away from what it would be the power.
Here's the replay. They got a double twin set to the right side, which they ran before, and they came back to the left side to Saltz across the grain.
Just shy of the first down marker, 2nd and less than a yard. Sandler will keep it, and he has plenty.
What Randolph has done is flooded the right side of the field, and they've cleared with 2 backs and sent the inside back out into the flat and completed it a couple of times. Last time out, they came back with the same formation. Linden adjusted very well, and then they went back to Saltz to the opposite side of the field. They've got a very diversified offense.
When I saw John Bauer last week, he said, people always ask me, what's the first play I'm going to call? I don't know until Saturday. And he's calling them right so far. This is Saltz again. This time he'll try to go outside. Instead, Brian West, with help, will slow him down and stop him. John's a contemporary of yours.
He sure is. He sure is. You believe half of what he says and less than what you see him do. Because he's a very deceiving individual.
And very successful, we might add.
Well, he sure is.
Look at that stat. 8 first downs for the Tigers, for Randolph, rather. Only 1 for Linden.
All right, here's a double slot that they shifted out to.
Sandler slips as he drops in the pocket, and he is going to be hit and dropped. Robert Willis hit him first, then finally Rembish brought him down.
I don't know whether that was supposed to be a draw play or not. He kind of took a stagger step back, but everything closed, and then he did slip. But one thing he did was put 2 hands on the ball and get back as much yardage as he can.
I think you're right, though. It possibly was the quarterback draw. Sandler on the day, 8 of 12, 88 yards, 1 TD. Again, they go with the shotgun. In motion is Saltz. Sandler looking for Fredericks. Fredericks had trouble with the footing. He gathers in the pass, still on his feet, and he will be shy of a first down, but certainly we would expect Randolph to go for it.
That's just a quick short turn out to the left side. Frederick's got a nice pair of hands. He's gone up in the air and caught him out of the sky and then caught him off of the shoe tops.
And I've been impressed with Gogarty, the other receiver they've gone to quite a bit. But yet it is Dave Cardinale who has all the points. Cardinale gathering in a 4-yard touchdown pass. And Fredericks gathering in the conversion. That's where we stand right now, 8-0. 4th and short yardage to give to Saltz. Saltz will have a first down.
Boy, that was a fine bit of running. The defensive player made contact with him 2 yards short of the first down. He put his shoulder down into him and picked it up by 1.5 yards to 2 yards.
But the key is that there is only one defensive player getting back there. Watch the offensive line.
Let's look at the replay on the counter. There's Sandler, fakes into the fullback, hands to Saltz. There's the contact, another 2 yards and enough for the first down.
Did you see that block?
Excellent block. I just noticed also Canton Jemmy has not been back into the game since he went out.
Pitch back to Gogarty. And Gogarty will slip and be caught for a loss of 1.
Ingram again did a nice job of shutting the outside off. He forced him to come back inside, and Linden pursuit to shut it off.
Stop for the Tigers, number 89, Darren Blakeney, and number 31, Keith Ingram.
I believe Gangemi is at about the 40-yard line on the far side, suited up with his helmet on, but not in the ball game. Loss of 1, 2nd and 11, and again, they go away from the shotgun, and instead Sandler comes to the line. Fake once, across the middle, and it's complete. Kevin Saltz on the receiving end.
Saltz was out in the slot, curled back to the inside. The ball was thrown a little bit low, but he made a nice catch.
A real good defensive hit, but a lot late.
All right, let's look at the replay. Saltz will line up on the left side. Sandler goes back, turns, looks immediately, slight curl into the outside, and a good pattern. Sandler took quite a pop after we released the ball on that play.
Already 104 yards in the air for Sandler. 3rd and 1. Second man through is Saltz. He will be very close to the first down. Possibly close enough for a measurement. Kevin Saltz, senior, came into the game with 11 receptions, has picked up a few already today.
That was a nice tackle by Sheridan.
And we will have the chain gang come on. Just short. 4th down.
As I said, it's 4th inches.
That's the view that the Linden defense has, and those Rams will be coming right at them. Kevin Saltz, the power running back. At least that's what they call him in the backfield. 10 carries, 35 yards already today. Let's see if he'll get the call here.
My bet was the quarterback sneak, and I think he's got it.
Sandler indeed called his own number. The officials are asking for a measurement, but it appears to be unnecessary. Mike Stigone, captain for Randolph. Mike Smith, captain for Linden, looking on. Here come the chains. First down, easily.
First down. Ball is on the 8.
It is 1st and goal. The ball is at the 8. 5 minutes, 12 seconds remain in the half. John Bauer hoping that he can put up another 6 on the board and maybe another 8. Saltz, his 11th carry, will bring it inside the 5.
That was a counter. If Saltz had turned that upfield a little quicker, there was about a 3-yard gap in the defensive line. He could have run straight for the goalpost.
Linden 9-1, their only loss to Memorial of West New York. Randolph 9-1, their only loss on Thanksgiving Day to Parsippany Hills by a score of 3-0. Tim Gogarty with a carry, and he will be dropped in the backfield. Gogarty is wrapped up hard and dropped by Mike Rembish. Rembish is only a sophomore. He goes 6'1", 195.
That was good penetration. It looked like Linden was in the gap that time, and one of the offensive linemen for Randolph did not seal. Rembish came in and made the tackle on the opposite side of the line of scrimmage.
Realizing how important points would be here, John Bauer has asked for timeout. It'll be a 3rd and goal from the 6 for the Rams. And I wouldn't be surprised to see them once again go to the air. It has been very successful so far.
I wouldn't be surprised to see them come back with the same play that they scored the touchdown. Go out with the quick turnout to the right side. If it's open, hit him. If not, try and create pressure on the cornerback. He's either got to drop off or come in, and if we don't get the right rotation, then Linden's going to be in trouble.
I mentioned already that Randolph is the champions of the Iron Hills Conference. Linden, on the other hand, with their win Thanksgiving Day over Union for, I believe, the first time in their history, became champions of the Watchung Conference. A title that seemed to have been locked away for the past 2 decades by Westfield and Union. 3rd and goal from the 6.
Double spread.
In the flat, it is complete to Saltz. Touchdown. From 6 yards away, Sandler to Saltz, and it is a 14-0 ball game.
Kevin Saltz on the touchdown.
And John Bauer looking to cap off a 10-win season.
All right, let's look at the replay. Here's Sandler back, split backs, double slot. He goes out to the left side, releases Saltz out into the flat, and excellent call, excellent execution, touchdown. Randolph again coming out, going for the 2-point conversion.
Again from the spread, they send 3 men left. It goes to Fredericks and is slapped away, but we've got a flag.
Flag on the play.
Flag on the play. Derek Jackson defensively may have been called for the interference. Yes, he was.
Number 34 is on the ball.
Naturally, Randolph will accept the penalty and try once again for 2. (14-0) our score. 4:09 left in the half. Sandler again from the shotgun. Looking right, and he's got his man. That would be Dave Cardinal picking up the 2-point conversion. And add 8 more because the Randolph Rams lead Linden by a score of 16-0 here in the 2nd quarter with 4:09 remaining. The scoring drive, and again, it was impressive. 10 plays. It took 44 yards, and it ended on the Saltz 6-yard touchdown reception from Scott Sandler.
A 2-point conversion. They came out with a double slot to the right side and the wing to the left side, and the 2 inside slot people cleared, and the wing ran a slant look in, and Sandler got him the ball again.
Very important here for Linden to go in trailing by 14 or less, because obviously they will be doing a lot of work in the locker room on that pass formation of the Rams.
Well, if Taylor can get this kickoff back into reasonably good position, we conceivably could have a 16-8 ball game before halftime.
Fredericks kicking off. This time he will drill it deep. It will be fielded by Ingram. Ingram possibly wanted to hand off. Instead, he's still on his feet. Ingram across the 35 and out to about the 38-yard line. Linden, an excellent kick return team, and they proved it right there.
Well, they got the ball out to the 37-yard line. That's better than the third of the field, so we might have some interesting things happening.
Watch the good kickoff return by Keith Ingram.
There's the kickoff. Ingram looked like he was going to lateral the ball to Taylor, decided to keep it and came up the left sideline, kept his balance after somebody got to his feet, got it back up to the 37-yard line.
Saliga, the lefty, over the middle and almost intercepted by Mike Stignone.
Saliga made an indirect spin and looked to get the ball into West. I was going to say that at this stage of the game, in the field position that they are, Linden has got to put the ball in the air to try and get Randolph from ganging inside. That'll open up some of the line play, and maybe Taylor or Matt can break something.
Stignone was looking for his first interception of the year. 2nd and 10. Jenkins on the call. He's going to be dropped back behind the 35, and again it is Stignone. Stignone, a 2-year starter, came into the game with 56 unassisted tackles, 4 sacks, and he has calls 4 fumbles.
Here's the replay on that. Smith, guard, is trying to get out in front of the play, and what he does is slip and trip, and that kind of took the block, left the running back unprotected.
Loss of 4 back to the 35. 3rd down. Obvious pass situation. Saliga instead will pitch it back to Taylor. Taylor will get back across the 40. Taylor made about 6 on the play. And now the Tigers will have to give it away. The crowd is enthusiastic, and they are also bundled up. Cold, wet day here in Linden. So far, the home side, not all that much to cheer about. 3 minutes, and now under 3 minutes remaining in the half. Taylor back to punt. Sandler back to receive. Good snap. Good kick by Taylor. Sandler will field it on one hop at the 35. He'll come up the middle, 9 yards. It was only a 24-yard punt by Taylor, 9-yard return, 13-yard net punt. By quarter, Randolph has scored once in each, adding the 2-point conversion, 8 and 8. That'll make 16-0 at this point with just 2 minutes and 25 seconds to go. Sandler looking long, has his man Saltz at the 33. Saltz has a step on his man. Can he make the end zone? Yes, touchdown.
That's typical John Barr. He wouldn't even let me get the words out of his mouth. I was just about to say that John is not going to sit back with 2 minutes to go and run the clock out and be satisfied to go in at 16-0 at halftime.
56-yard touchdown pass, Sandler to Saltz, and it is a 22-0 ball game. Unbelievable. They strike quickly.
Came out in a double slot again that time, and Saltz was able to get behind the defender.
There he is, Kevin Saltz. Amazing how well these Randolph players can execute both as runners and receivers. And not just one player. Usually you're lucky if you can get one player who does that.
I would guess that Sandler's got to be close to 200 yards in passing.
He's looking for the conversion. He will not make it this time as Robert Willis will sack him. And the conversion is missed. But Randolph, by striking on the 56-yarder, have increased their lead to 22-0. Randolph looking for their second state championship. They were state champions of Section 2, Group 2 back in 1968. The scoring drive, if you can call it that, because it only took one play. It carried 56 yards, and Saltz hauled in the TD reception. And, Bill, this is amazing. Look at this one play. The last one was 10 plays. The first one, 19. So just when it looked as if Randolph needed a lot of time to score, here they do it on one play.
It's an amazing statistic, but what's impressive is the way Sandler is getting the ball to his receivers. He had 104 yards somewhere at the beginning of the quarter. This 56 alone gives him 160 passing in the first half.
You're correct. He is nearing the 200 mark. Fredericks kicking it away. A line drive type kick that Taylor has trouble with. I don't think he has touched it yet. Now he does at the 5. And he'll make his way out to about the 12-yard line. 2 minutes, 2 seconds remaining. And Linden will now have to be very cautious to maybe use up the entire clock.
Well, I think that's right. They can't afford to give the ball up here, yet they can't afford to sit back. They're going to try and use whatever they have in their offensive repertoire to try and get the ball out to an area where they can throw. I would look maybe for a draw or possibly a screen somewhere along the line here.
From the 14-yard line, Saliga hands it off to Mack. Mack will get about 3 yards. 1 minute, 39 seconds remain in the half.
Randolph's been ineffective. They've played 4 defensive linemen, 2 head up on the guards, 2 head up on the tackles, and the linebackers outside on short yardage situations, and then they reverse it and cover the guards, play the linebackers on the tackles, and then play their tackles outside on the ends, which is the difference between the 4 and a tight 6 look. They've been fortunate enough to guess right as to where Linden was going.
1 minute, 13 seconds. If Linden does not do well on this play, Randolph may call for time. They give to Taylor. Taylor makes short yardage, and then we have a flag thrown in late after the play.
Flag on the flag after 3-yard pickup by Taylor.
Depending upon who the flag goes against, again, Randolph might consider. There it is. Now that took care of that possibility. Personal foul against the Rams. It will be a first down for the Tigers. And more than likely, that will stop any chance Randolph might have wanted for a timeout.
Well,
we're going to take, Phil, excuse me, we're going to take a short break right here. We'll be back with the last seconds of the first half in just a moment. Back for the final minute of the first half. A piling on penalty against Randolph has moved the ball out to the 34 for Linden. Saliga looking in the air, guns it up, and it will almost be picked off by Sandler. West was the intended receiver.
Well, that was the advantage of the penalty. Linden is now in an area where they can afford to put the ball up in the air, because if they do get intercepted, they still got 40-some yards to go.
39 seconds to go. Had that penalty not come into play, Randolph might have called timeout in order to get the ball back. And they still might.
It's interesting to note, if you look at the makeup of the Randolph offense and defense, many of his players go both ways.
He only plays about 12 or 13 players, John Bauer. And that's only because Ganjemi is injured. Too much time.
Play a game against the Tigers.
And it's easy to see that there are a lot of clean uniforms on the far sideline, except for, again, 12 or 13 players. That's all that Randolph will go with. And again, that only because of the injury to Ganjemi. Without his injury, they'd go with 11. Five yards cost the Tigers. It's 2nd and 15. West in motion. Saliga dropping back. Rolling to...
Trouble.
That's intercepted.
That's trouble.
Sandler just comes up and picks that one off. He's still on his feet. Across the 30. Still moving down to the 26-yard line. We have 27 seconds to go. And Randolph will have the ball back.
Line of the Tigers. It'll be 1st and 10 Randolph.
All right, let's look at the replay. Saliga comes back out, turns, rolls out to the left-hand side, gets a little pressure, pulls up. Sandler happened to step right in front of the ball. Ball's underthrown. Sandler stepped in, kept his balance, broke a tackle, ran the ball back another 12 to 15 yards. Randolph takes a timeout to regroup here. Ball on the 27-yard line.
Randolph, I believe, has one timeout left.
Well, with 27 seconds to go, they can get the ball in the air 3 to 4 times if they're incomplete, which will automatically kill the clock. If they do get any completions, they still can get into an area where they may be able to put 3 on the board. So Linden's got to dig in.
And again, the Rams are working with one timeout left.
One key to the success of Randolph's offense is that they've been throwing basically from the shotgun, and Linden hasn't been able to put any pressure on the quarterback. He's had enough time, with the exception of the two-point conversion where he was sacked.
This is the first I've seen the shotgun this year in the 11 games that we've done for TV.